What up, everybody? Mr. Pink is back, and today I want to continue where I left off about Dungeons and Dragons or D&D. Today I'm going to tell y'all how me and my crew, how we would, create our characters. And later on, in a separate video, I will describe the different types of, you know, stats, how they all function and whatnot. Alright, but to get started, you're going to need at least 4 6-sided dice, obviously a character sheet, and, depending on how you're doing it, whether it's computer or on paper, either pen or either a pencil or just, you already have everything if you have it on a computer. So what you're going to do is you're going to take all the dice and roll them. You're going to take the highest one of the 4, and then you're going to set it off to the side and re-roll it, or re-roll the other 3. Once you do that, there you go. And then rinse and repeat for the last 2, and boom, you got 1 stat after you add those 3 numbers up. And once you got those added up, you select one of the stats that you want, whether it be, strength, dexterity, constitution, whatever it is. Right? You put it into the stat box, and then if you don't know how to calculate it into the actual stat modifier, then I'll have a thing on screen showing you how it is. Alright, and then once you do that, you just rinse and repeat that process of rolling 4, take the highest, roll 3, take the highest, roll 2, take the highest, add the highest up, and just keep on putting them into the stats. Once you are done putting all those in there, you grab your stat modifier, and that is going to be going into everything. Now, I'm say everything, I mean everything. From your base attack bonus stuff, your damage, your skills, everything. I am not going to go into detail today about all the different ones to do, but yeah, I will, soon enough. Now, once you have that done, actually, this is actually, a little counterproductive, but before you even put your stats into them, it is good to know what you're wanting to build. And, if you're a new person, I would recommend, doing the player's handbook. Just picking classes from there, looking at them, see what you want. Read them to see the kind of base stats that you would need. But almost universally, the 2 stats that you would normally want to go up on is dexterity and constitution, because dexterity will allow you to not get hurt. You would avoid attacks more often. Now just remember what I'm telling y'all, this is from our group. We kind of do we like to do a lot of fights and battles, so it's gonna how y'all do it might be a bit different. Right? So dexterity is good for that, while on the other hand, you're also going to want to have constitution, because constitution will allow you to take more damage if you're getting hurt, because obviously you will. Alright, now with that being said, choose your class and then put your stats in them. I know it's kind of going back to what I said previously, but yeah, well, I'm not good at these things, so bear with me. Alright, now once you have that done, you're going to take your stat modifier and match it up to the corresponding stat or skills that you have, and apply them as necessary. And then with your classes, they will have a a set amount of skills that set skills that automatically. What, like, you can climb, different knowledges, crafting, all that good stuff. You're going to select those on your skill list, and doing that will allow you to, whenever you put your skill points into it, which I will get into shortly, you'll actually use one instead of two per skill. Now, just remember, this is all 3.5, 4.0 D&D that we do. So, if you're wanting to go into 5.0 or 3.0 or whatever, it may not correlate the same. But if you're going with this, which which is what we do, this will all work out just fine. Now, once you got that, you are going to every class is going to tell you how you get your skill points, right? Which is typically your intelligence modifier times something plus another thing, right? Once I start going into the different classes, I'll explain, I'll show you how that works. But once you have your skill points, all statted out and whatnot, you're gonna go through and divide them into your skill ranks for the skills that you have. If you want to put into a skill that you don't have, it's going to cost 2. But if you have the skill from your class, it's going to cost 1. And so now there is a limit to how many skill points you can put in 2 per skill. Right? And that limit is 3 plus your level. So at level 1, you're going to be able to put a max of 4 in there. And once you have that 4, you cannot put any more on there. So generally, if you have a 0 in all your stats, or all your skills, stat modifiers, stat modifiers. Sorry, I'm kind of new to doing this, so I mumble a lot. You are going to have a 0 in there, which means basically your skill bonuses that you distributed are what's going to be in there. But if you have a +1, +2, whatever, that's going to take an effect as well. Now that you have all that done, generally there is a starting package that you can choose for your skills, or for your character, based on your class and or race. But generally what we do is we are given a set amount of gold starting off. So let's say we have 100 gold starting off to spend on all of our expenses. What we do is we have 100 gold to spend, but anything that is worth 100 or less is free. Because generally we like to say that, hey, we have been traveling, doing jobs or whatever for quite a while, so we would have already had some things in our possession, so we don't just waste everything getting those things. So let's say you want to carry 20 daggers. All right, daggers cost like 5 gold or something like that. You can say you have 20 daggers on your person, which unless you're a thrower, I don't really think that's necessary. But anywho, you go through, you pick out all the items that you would need, rations, bedding, equipment, the whole 9. There's a whole laundry list and grocery list combined of the stuff that you would need. So take your time, look through them, know what kind of campaign y'all are going to be playing, and acquire accordingly. Obviously, some of them are necessities, food and bedding. So always get those. And then once you have that completed, you know, I don't think I really need to say this, but on your character sheets, there's going to be, places for, equipment, abilities, all the good jazz. You'll write everything in there accordingly. And once I start going into on my next video about characters, how the character sheets are, which we actually have a special one that we found. If I can find a link to it, I will put it in my next D&D video where I describe the character sheets and how it functions. But yeah, every class level you have, you'll have skills and things that you would write down on your character sheet. This way you can keep track of it all. But other than that, I covered how to get your stats, which there's also a point buy system. I am not too familiar with that myself, so I'm not going to go into that, primarily because we have not done that a whole lot. And then there's also the whole going with preset characters. There's already there's pre-made characters they can choose from, or set steps that you can choose from. All that to go on. Which honestly, I prefer creating a character yourself, because it helps to build the immersion into the game, and I really like role playing. So got the skills, got the stats, got going after equipment, and universal items. I will be going over in details the different stats, different skills, different classes, all that good jazz. But until then, I am Mr. Pink, and I will see y'all in the next episode. Bye bye.